What's going on, everybody? How are you? I didn't realize how late it was. I did not realize how late it was when I got off TikTok because I was laughing so much over there at the troglodytes. What's going on? And it wasn't my normal streaming time, so it was like struggle getting on the algorithm and a bunch of other shit. But we're here now. What's going on, everybody? I just set a gifting goal up there. Yeah, never get good debates on TikTok anymore. Nobody does. But the difference is I'm not gonna I'm at the point where I'm tired of sitting through the same repeated bullshit from people. And these guys go on long tangents about topics they have very little understanding of, and it's and I've heard the argument before. It's very hard to sit through it. But we'll see if we can get a Trump supporter to call in. 908-652-3703. The number's available there. Cassandra. Thank you, Cassandra. Thank you, Cassandra. Tired of the TikTok bullshit? Yeah, TikTok's lame. Sheffy, thank you for the $5 super chat. Appreciate you, Sheffy. Well, that's why I'm building platforms elsewhere, because it's just... Not that I'm gonna leave TikTok. I'll always do TikTok in the morning, and I'll always do a stream over there and stuff. But it's time to build it up elsewhere. I also have another clip that I have to upload from last night's stream, where this guy literally claimed he would rather vote for Satan than a Democrat, which is insane to me, but that's really revealing, isn't it? Because it's true, because they would rather vote, they would vote for Satan. And these are the Christians saying that. They would vote for Satan. They would vote for Satan over a Democrat. That's how they really feel. It's no joke. Yeah, TikTok's... It's the way the algorithm is. It's why. There's disgusting people over here too, but it's less children typically. Glasses Babe, thank you for the $5 super chat. Appreciate you. The thing I have to do over here is change the setup. I need to use a thumbnail. I need to have creative headlines, and I haven't done any of those things yet. Just trying to establish a base first before I start doing some of those things. But if you are a Trump supporter, give a call in on why you support Trump. I don't understand how people can still support Trump at this point. And I think, let me put this down here. I'm going to put this text down here, everybody. Check this out. We were talking about this on TikTok. Hold on. Let me put this text here. You guys are going to like this. Let's see. All right, everybody, let's put it up. Let me bring it down here. And just fix it a little bit. Hunter Biden is more of a patriot than MAGA. Hunter Biden is more of a patriot than MAGA. And that's the truth. Hunter Biden is more of a patriot than MAGA. Don't you guys agree? Glasses Babe, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Marianne, thank you for the $1.99. Happy holidays, Marianne. Hope you're enjoying time with your family. Hope you're having time with your family. Not That Dana, thank you for the $1.99. MAGA is having an identity crisis. Here's the thing. We're on the brink of the end of MAGA. MAGA's coming to an end in a sense, right? Like, there's so much that these guys, and I can tell because there's trends of how they behave. Listen closely. This is true. MAGA, when things are going good, will tell you, oh, you're damn right I support Trump, and I'm proud of it. Right after Trump won the election, they were proud to tell you they supported Trump because they thought everyone loved Trump. Now that things are starting to get a little, hairy and things are looking bad and they're embarrassed of their support for Trump, they're not saying that anymore. If you are a Trump supporter, give a call in right now. Show me that you're not embarrassed to say you support Donald Trump. Call in right now and show me you're not embarrassed. 908-652-3703. 908-652-3703. Yes, I believe Hunter Biden is more of a patriot than MAGA. I do. I believe that with my heart and soul. Why wouldn't I believe that? Why wouldn't I believe that? Yes, the consequences are. Steve, why don't you give a call in, Steve? Give me a call, 908-652-3703. Want to hear your take? Tell me what you think. Tell me if you think I'm incorrect. I think the Bidens are incredible patriots, as a matter of fact. I think they're incredible patriots. I think, in fact, MAGA's actually jealous of the Biden family. I think MAGA wants the Trump family to be like the Biden family. And I think it embarrasses them that Don Jr. and Eric, and they've just never lived up to what the Biden family has accomplished. I saw Biden the other day. It was yesterday or the day before, a video, and he's walking out. He doesn't have the presidential seal on, and he's walking out. And it hurts my heart. It really does. I miss Joe. I really do. I miss Joe. And, look, no president's perfect. I would take Joe Biden 10 out of 10 times over Trump. 10 out of 10 times. Fluffy River Monster says, I'm not a debater. You don't have to be a debater to call in. Most people who talk to me are not debaters. Steve, why don't you call in, Steve? Why are you scared to admit that you support Trump? Why are you scared? Why have we reached the point where MAGA's terrified to admit that they support Trump? Is it that embarrassing?
Call from
Mac.
Hello, Matt. Are you a Trump supporter?
Mac, brother. You could say independent. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. So you didn't vote for Trump then?
No, I stayed out of the election, but I originally supported, a lot of his policies, which, some people can get upset about that, but I think putting American manufacturing first 100%.
But you didn't. Why didn't you vote for him? I don't get it. You're saying you didn't vote
truthfully,
for him? Because I'm honestly looking for Trump supporters.
Normally and one of my friends will say I'm the biggest Trump supporter. But the main reason why I didn't vote this previous election was because of cryptocurrency. And I just think that's definitely
okay. So you told me you're not a Trump supporter. So you said you're not a Trump supporter. Now you're telling me your friends say you're the biggest Trump supporter. I'm confused. Are you a Trump supporter or not?
100%. Well, because you got to realize, supporting policies of someone doesn't automatically make someone a supporter.
Yes,
that's
it does.
like saying, okay,
in Trump's case,
it
does.
In
Trump's case, it does.
Of a certain.
In Trump's case, it does.
And that's the problem.
No, it isn't.
But you rule out even an independent vote. If you're saying you have to vote on part, Yes, but what I'm saying is you have to support, you have to vote, you have to believe in certain party lines. That gets us nowhere
Party
as a
lines is a
nation.
totally different
100%
conversation
nowhere.
about party lines is an entirely different conversation on whether or not you support
And what
it. Well, in Trump's case, there's other baggage involved, right? He doesn't believe in the Constitution, for instance, right? So in Trump's case, you can't pick and choose which policies you support because you shouldn't support anyone who doesn't support the Constitution or doesn't uphold their oath to the Constitution. Okay, so that's an example of what I'm talking about.
and which parts and which part on the Constitution are you saying like 100% he's going against it?
Well, I don't know what you mean 100%, but like there's different amendments I can make the case for his lack of respect for the Constitution. So Donald Trump recently trying to criminalize Antifa as an ideology, right, calling it a terrorist organization. That, in my opinion, is in violation of the First Amendment. Executive orders to prohibit flag burning, which is a constitutionally protected right under Texas v. Johnson, 1989, I consider an attack on the First Amendment. Donald Trump weaponizing the chair of the FCC appointed by Donald Trump, Brendan Carr, to go after Jimmy Kimmel, stating his criticism of the president was too much and threatened regulatory violations and revoking broadcast licensure is also a violation of the First Amendment. Donald Trump, during his administration, I mean, in regards to the Second Amendment, the bump stock ban was overturned, deemed in violation of the Second Amendment. Donald Trump's deportation operation has specifically caused violations of both the Fourth and Fifth Amendment. Donald Trump is constitutionally ineligible. He engaged in insurrection according to Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. Shall I go on? Donald Trump has floated the idea of running for president again.
Hold on. You got to bring one at a time, otherwise.
Okay, so let's start with let's start with the First Amendment. Go ahead. You asked me. I'm giving you. I could do this.
Yeah,
for an hour.
No. No one's. You don't have to get defensive. 100%. I'm just throwing it out there. Listen to me. Listen to me. I don't need you to tell me to slow down. I can do this for an hour straight. You told me you didn't vote, so I'm hesitant to even speak to you. If you can talk to yourself for an hour straight, that's 100% cool. I know
it's
that
not about talking
some
to
people
myself,
have that ability to where they
fuck.
can
It's
fill
not
a
about
void.
talking to myself. I'm simply
fill a void
explaining
with
to
their
you.
voice.
Not,
I get it.
Can you stop talking for a second?
And now you curse?
Yeah,
you just said I'm an arrogant little fuck as you're saying that
Shut
you can
up.
fill with an
Stop
intellectual
talking.
conversation.
Because you won't stop talking. You're still talking. I'm not done explaining.
Dude, that's wild.
Guy, you don't tell me when I'm done.
This is why
Guy, you don't
people
tell
have
this.
a
You're a
syndrome.
Listen, I'm gonna mute you. I'm gonna mute you, and no one's gonna hear you. There you go. You're muted. You came up here and said you're not voting. You don't tell me when I'm done talking. This is my fucking live. Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you? You think you're going to call in my live and tell me when to stop explaining his unconstitutional behavior? I will go on for an hour straight if I feel like going on for an hour straight. Don't fucking tell me what to do. The fuck? You can't shut up because you're scared because you know I'm going to give you so much information you're not going to have a rebuttal. And by the way, that's not a Trump supporter. So can we get a Trump supporter that's not afraid to admit they supported Donald Trump? No, he hung up. He hung up because he wants to keep talking over me and interrupting me and deciding when I'm done talking. Listen, one thing you're never going to do is decide when I'm done talking. That's not what you're going to do. You're not. We listen to you ramble about how your friend thinks you're not a Trump supporter and why you're an independent and why people need to not follow party lines. And I didn't interrupt you. But then when I started talking, you started deciding it's my turn to stop talking. You don't tell people what to do, you non-participant. Don't speak. You didn't even vote. So again, if you are a Trump supporter and you're not embarrassed of that, call in 908-652-3703. Don't call in if you're not a Trump supporter. I don't want to hear that you voted for him, but you don't really want to support him anymore. I want to hear you're a Trump supporter 10 toes down. Don't be a fucking coward. Call in and admit you supported Trump so I can have a discussion with you. But you're embarrassed to admit you supported Trump. You know it and I know it because Trumpism, MAGAism is coming to an end. It's coming to an end. We are at the end of MAGAism. We are at the end of Trumpism. And that's why you're seeing less and less Trump supporters willing to admit they support Trump. They always have some kind of excuse. Well, I don't really support him anymore. Or, well, I agree with some policies, but not others, because you can't. Let's see who this is now.
Call from
Diane.
Guys, by the way, if you are in here, I would appreciate hitting the thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. If you don't want to lose track of the lives, make sure you know when I do go live. If you're a supporter, please hit the thumbs up button. MAGA hates when people hit the thumbs up button. What's your first name, dude?
I'm Dean.
Dean, how are you? So you're a Trump supporter, Dean?
Absolutely.
Okay, Dean. And why are you a Trump supporter? What do you think, like, do you agree Hunter Biden's more of a patriot than MAGA? Like, do you think that's going too far?
Yeah, I think that's going too far.
But why?
Why? Because I don't see what Hunter Biden did that would be more of a patriot than MAGA supporters. What did he do that would be more patriotic than
What did Donald Trump do?
A Trump supporter would be.
What did Donald Trump do? That was
What did
patriotic.
Donald Trump do?
Yeah, what did Donald Trump do that was patriotic?
He did quite a bit of, and he became president. That's patriotic, isn't it?
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. I think if someone becomes president, well, let's say someone
How is that?
Well, let's say someone becomes president, and this is relevant in this case. Let's say someone becomes president and doesn't uphold their oath to the Constitution. Is that patriotic?
No. Nope.
Right. So in this case,
So,
then he would
I
be
think
less
he's
of a patriot than someone who hasn't violated people's constitutional rights.
Okay. Well, I think he's upholding his constitutional. But you're saying that MAGA support Hunter Biden's more of a patriot than MAGA supporters. How is that?
Because
you said
Hunter,
all, and
I'll give you a reason.
so you're saying, like, if you're in the military, then and you're serving your country, and they're a MAGA supporter, Hunter Biden is more patriotic than them.
Hunter Biden is more patriotic than MAGA. Yes. Hunter Biden is patriotic for a number of reasons, right? But more importantly, he hasn't violated people's constitutional rights. And if you actively support what Trump is doing, regardless of whether or not you're in the military, you do not have respect for the Constitution. Period.
Yeah, well, you're just plain wrong, and that's
okay.
the
So
bottom
let's
line.
talk about the Constitution then. Are you familiar? Let's talk about the Constitution then. Are you familiar with the Constitution?
Somewhat. I'm not an expert by any means.
Okay, you don't have to be an expert, but you're an American, right? So you do care about your constitutional rights, correct?
Yep.
Okay,
correct.
Cool. So let's talk about it. What rights do you value? Do you think are most important?
Freedom of religion and freedom of speech.
Okay, let's
and
talk about
freedom
Let's start
of
there. Let's start there. Freedom of religion, freedom of speech. So actively, MAGA and members of MAGA, like Lauren Boebert and others, are advocating for eliminating the Establishment Clause of the Constitution, right? Do you understand what the Establishment Clause is? Do you understand the separation of church and state?
I do understand the separation of church and state.
Okay.
What's the separation of church and state? Does that mean that all that's saying is you can't have a state religion?
Yeah. So do you have
that's not saying you can uphold.
No, it doesn't. All right. So do you have a Constitution in front of you?
I do not. Nope.
Okay. Do you have Google in front of you?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I want you to type in the first. You're echoing, dude. I want you to type in.
I did. Yeah,
okay. I want you to type in the First Amendment. I want you to read it out loud for the chat.
All right. The Congress shall not make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech.
All right, stop there.
Or of the right
Congress
of the people
shall make
peaceably
no
to assembly.
law respecting an establishment of religion. So establish an official religion or favor one religion over another, right? So when Trump supporters, such as Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene formerly, advocate for eliminating the establishment clause, right, and creating a Christian nationalist government, would that be in violation of the wall of separation?
If has Trump supported that?
Yeah, Trump has made statements about the First Amendment, but MAGA's not just Trump, right? It's people who support Trump, people in government identify. These are people who self-identify as MAGA.
Okay, what is that? So there's people. So every person on the left, you support everything that they say?
Well, so again, let's
or
be
is
clear.
There individual people? Let's be clear. There's people. So everybody on the left, everything that they say, you support. And of the movement of the left.
So first of all,
is
Trump himself.
Is that what you're trying to say?
No. So first of all, Trump himself has questioned the wall of separation as well. But these were outright statements about promoting Christian nationalism. These are elected members of Congress who are self-identified MAGA, right? They run under the MAGA umbrella. And they want to create a Christian nationalist government, which would be in violation of the establishment clause, in violation of the wall of separation. So this is the point I'm making, right? Is that you can't be a Trump supporter and respect the Constitution. And this is one of a million examples I can give. Okay, do you want me to give you more examples?
So do you
voted,
support,
right? You definitely
voted.
You voted, right?
I did.
Okay.
Oh, I definitely. 100%.
Okay. So let's break this
down.
Yeah,
100%. So do you support ICE?
No.
Okay,
I
then
believe
you're
ICE
not a patriot.
I believe ICE is active.
Because it's in our law. It's in our law that they're of our borders. So you're obviously not a patriot. You're I mean, that's you're 100% against. You're not a patriot. You're not a. Yeah, I mean, I don't get what you're trying to say. I mean,
So
there's no rhyme or reason. And
so hold on, sir. Hold on.
You're doing. You're just selectively putting one thing, and then you like. Okay, go ahead.
Can you tell me what law says we must support ICE?
There's no law. There's a law for the border.
Okay, there is no
And
law. But if
obviously
ICE is acting, if ICE is acting,
there is one.
Hold on. If ICE is acting unconstitutional, right, in their duties, should the American people support them?
Which they're not.
They are, though.
They're not.
ICE is using.
They're not.
They are, though.
100% not.
Yes, they are. So
nope.
Can ICE use race?
Sorry, they're not.
Okay, so let's talk about it. I'm going to literally lay it out for you. You can say they're not all you want. It doesn't matter if you say they're not. Like, it doesn't matter. I'm going to prove through the conversation you're incorrect. So, do you think ICE should be able to use race as a singular reason to arrest or detain people?
A race?
Race.
No.
Okay, well, they're doing that.
I don't.
So, for instance, I'll give you an example.
They're not.
I'll give you an example. Yes, they are.
They're not. They
admit
they're not,
to this.
They're not going in there.
So first of all,
no, they don't.
So first of all, ICE admits to using race as a multitude of factors. They're allowed, technically, to use it as a multitude of factors. They're not allowed to use it as a singular factor. Okay, a singular
there you
factor.
Go. Okay.
Again, so I'm going to explain. I'm going to talk to you right now. So let's talk about this most recent incident where this black man was arrested or detained by ICE and forced to prove his citizenship status. They were conducting an undercover investigation into people who were selling fake Gucci bags, and ICE was present. ICE saw this individual, right, and arrested him because he kept walking when they asked a question, right? They slammed him up against a wall. They arrested him, put him on the ground. He eventually proved who he was, and they let him go. Can you tell me, other than race, right, other than him having brown skin, what would they use to conclude he was undocumented?
A multitude of things.
Give me one.
Give you one, and I'm not an ICE investigation, so I don't know. But
you just said a multitude of things, and now you can't give me one.
Yeah, I can't give you one. I don't know what they do for. I'm not a ICE agent.
Then why are you defending?
How would I
them?
know what they?
Then why are you defending?
Why am I defending them?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I defend them?
ICE has used race as their primary factor in their arrests. That is in violation of that is in violation of the 14th Amendment.
Prove it.
Can I finish?
How do you know that they did that?
Can I finish?
Wait.
I just explained to you there is no other. Well, considering he was an American citizen, shut up for a second and let me talk. Shut up and I'll explain it. If you stop talking, God damn. So let's ask ourselves a couple of questions here. Let's use what's called critical analysis. I know you're clearly not familiar with what that is. Let's say for a second that ICE conducted an investigation prior to detaining this individual, right? If they conducted an investigation prior to detaining this individual, wouldn't they be able to conclude that he was documented? See, they didn't find out he was an American citizen. They didn't find out he was an American citizen until he provided his ID, which shows you there was no prior investigation. They saw an individual, saw the color of his skin. He didn't answer a question, and he doesn't have to by law answer a question. Kept walking when they asked that question, and they slammed him on the ground until they forced him to show his ID. That is using race as a singular factor in arrests. Okay?
You have no clue
these
what
individuals don't have prior.
Okay.
No, what I know is that there's data that shows that Latinos accounted for 90% of the arrests, with most of those individuals having no criminal convictions or charges. That's what I know. I have data that backs up my point. Did you just say good?
Who's mostly in the country illegally?
What percentage do you think of undocumented or immigrants are Latino? You think it's 90%?
What percentage?
Yes.
I have no clue what percentage.
So would you agree 90%? Would you agree if they make up 90% of arrests, then they're being disproportionately targeted?
I don't know. I have no clue what the percentage. What is the percentage of them in the country?
That's the point. That's the point that I'm making. It's nowhere near 90%. It's less than 70%. I don't even think it's 60%. So if they're making up 90% of arrests, if they're making up 90% of arrests, do you think they're the point is that they don't make up 90% of the undocumented immigration population. So if they account for 90% of the arrests, then they're being disproportionately targeted, correct?
Not necessarily.
Yes. If they don't make up,
if they're making
oh my God, you can't be this dense. You cannot be this dense. You really can't. You're arguing. Dude, when I ask you for a rebuttal, you can't just say, I don't know. If you're defending the point, you need to fucking tell me why. Why do you believe ICE is not using race as a singular factor?
Because it's against the Constitution.
Okay, what part of the Constitution? Are you aware?
What's that?
You heard me. What part of the Constitution?
It's against our laws, not our Constitution. It's against the law. So I don't think they're breaking the law. So
No, it's not. It's the 14th Amendment. It's called the Equal Protection Clause. Okay? It's called the Equal Protection Clause. So I want to let you in on a little secret. A federal judge ruled that ICE's actions constituted illegal racial profiling. They couldn't justify
there's a lot of
hold on. The point I was trying to get to is they couldn't justify these arrests with an actual investigation. They rely on factors like race. Now, the Supreme Court temporarily stop talking. The Supreme Court temporarily lifted that order because ICE claimed they use race as a multitude of factors for stops and detentions. But there's been no evidence provided that
use multitude of factors.
There's been no evidence. It's temporarily lifted. There's been no evidence to justify the arrest with any investigation.
It's been lifted, right? So.
This is why I don't know if you're just not smart enough to understand what I'm saying, and maybe it's a useless conversation. I'm trying to explain to you. I gave you a specific circumstance where an individual's walking down a street. He's a Brooklyn resident. He has brown skin. He's slammed against the wall, arrested and detained. He's forced to prove his citizenship status. If there was a prior investigation, would this individual have been arrested? No, because if they conducted a prior investigation, they would have known he was documented. Do you understand?
No.
Okay.
You don't know everything that...
Do undocumented immigrants have constitutional rights?
They have some rights. I don't think they're not.
What rights do they have?
What rights do they have?
What rights do they have? I want to get a baseline for this. I want you to understand at least roughly what rights they have.
I'm not undocumented immigrant, so I don't know what all rights
this
they
is
have.
Your answer. This is your answer to everything. I'm not an ICE agent, so I don't know why they're arresting people. Then why are you defending them? If you're not an ICE agent, then why are you defending them? If you don't know, why are you willing to trust them?
Why am I willing to trust them? Because I think they're doing the right thing.
Okay, why is it the right thing? Let's go down that path. Why is it the right thing to remove people or to conduct mass deportation, just generally speaking?
Why? Because they don't belong in our country.
Okay. So you think the fact that they've committed... But what does belong mean? Do you belong in this country?
I do.
You do? Are you indigenous to this country?
Am I what?
Are you indigenous to this country?
Am I what?
Indigenous.
Yep, I am.
You are? Okay, what tribe?
Percentage. I'm a percentage of it.
What percentage?
Yeah, I'm no. I think 15%.
You think 15%? Yeah, no, you're not. So again,
wow.
let's go through this really quick. Why are undocumented immigrants not supposed to be here? Why is it a good idea to spend billions of dollars to remove undocumented immigrants?
Because they cost us more.
No, they don't.
And they cost American jobs. They cost. Yes, they do.
No, they're a net positive on these. No, they're a net positive. Yeah. Okay, can you tell me what they're costing us?
Definitely not.
Okay, tell me what specifically they're doing to result in a net positive, and please provide me the fiscal burden.
First of all, they bring down the wage.
Wrong.
For American people.
Okay, based off what?
Yeah, they do.
No, undocumented immigrants typically contribute
based off what?
Undocumented immigrants typically contribute to wage growth, as a matter of fact. What's the federal minimum wage in the United States?
I don't know, six something. I
No,
think
$7.25 an hour. The federal government's driving down wages, not undocumented immigrants. Undocumented immigrants compete with low-educated, low-skilled workers in the United States, and they make up sectors, right? They make up sectors like construction, food service, and agriculture. Shut up. They make up food service, agriculture, construction. These are jobs typically that are labor intensive, right? Low paying jobs to begin with that American citizens don't fill. In fact, we've seen that mass deportation typically results in labor shortage. So they actually contribute to wage growth by creating competition for low skill, low educated workers.
What happens if there's a labor shortage?
Well, in agriculture, what do you think would happen?
What happens if there's a labor shortage?
So it depends on what industry you're talking about. Are you drunk? Like, because that's about the dumbest question I've ever gotten. What happens? Well, for instance, if there's a labor shortage,
no, you just don't want to answer the question.
I can answer.
What happens if there's a labor shortage?
Shut the fuck up so I can answer, troglodyte.
You shut the fuck up.
Holy fuck.
What happens if there's a labor shortage? I'm
trying to answer if you'll shut up. So, for instance, if it's like in construction, undocumented immigrants are responsible for building houses. You could see it result in a housing crisis, right? So that would be an example. It depends on what industry we're talking about, what sector we're speaking about. There could be a food shortage if we're talking about agriculture. And you don't have anyone to pick your fruit and vegetables. American citizens don't typically occupy these jobs. They don't compete for these jobs. They're not only because they're low paying, low skilled positions. Hold on, I really want to stop something.
Why
really
are
quick.
They low paying?
This guy. Why are they low paying? Because I said they're low skilled, stupid. Master Resolve in the chat said, host, you're losing and everyone sees it. Master Resolve, you would think that because you're also a troglodyte and you don't know how to spell your. You're looking for YOU''RE. I'm going to pin your comment so everyone can laugh. Let's bring this guy back. He's a little bit of a goof. Why are they low paying? Because they're low skilled positions. They don't require a tremendous amount of education.
Okay. Why? But if there's people that are willing to work for the low wage, then they're low wage. If there's nobody, then they have to pay more to get people to do the agriculture, do the construction.
What?
If there's more people willing.
I'm sorry, dude. You're just not. You're not capable of having this conversation. All right. I tried with you, but you're too dense. I tried with you, but you're just too dense, my guy. There's only so far we can go here, right? You're just talking now to talk. You're not actually arguing any points. You don't have any information. You don't know what you're talking about. If you're a Trump supporter, call in 908 652 3703. 908 652 3703. Don't call from unknown numbers. Make sure you are on a number. Do not call from unknown numbers. Guys, don't you love watching Trump supporters in the chat be like, you're wrong? Trump supporters in the chat.
William.
Trump supporters in the chat type, you're wrong, and they're spelling you're wrong. Imagine,
am I on air?
Yes. Can you be quiet for a second? Imagine saying you're wrong to someone and spelling you're wrong, like using the wrong you're to tell someone they're wrong is the funniest thing on planet Earth.
Okay, dude, come on. No, I don't have time.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Oh, so we're on your time now.
Yep.
Okay. Have a good day. Fuck you think you are, dude? Who do you think you are, dude? Somebody said, who cares about spelling? That's very typical of a Trump supporter. A Trump supporter in chat just wrote, "Who cares about spelling?" Meanwhile, they claim that undocumented immigrants are not assimilating. They claim that undocumented immigrants are not assimilating, right? Are undocumented immigrants not assimilating, Rich?
Rich?
Yeah, is your name Rich?
No, I'm Josh.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were someone else. Josh, what's going on?
Good.
Are you a Trump supporter?
Half and half, man. Like, I did vote for him this time, but
what does that mean?
Kind of had to. Well, been a registered Democrat most of my life. Voted Dem probably up until 2020. Now I'm just seeing how the last 4 years been as a business owner. Kind of just felt like we were losing the plot a little bit. My biggest question though, man, is I see a lot of channels like this, and again, I've been a Democrat most of my life, but let's assume your points are 100% correct. Like, let's just assume you got this shit figured out, and let's assume these people calling in are completely retarded. Assume they're just off their rocker.
Guy, you can't use that word.
Why is it that?
Please don't use that
R
word.
Sorry. Let's assume they're all okay. Let's assume they're all incorrect. They are just gone. Why do I see so many channels where we're just so condescending and just mean and just like
didn't you just use a slur?
These people? Was that gonna?
Didn't you just use a slur?
A slur? Oh my gosh, dude! My goodness.
No, it's
that's not
literally
the point of my
slur.
argument.
It's literally a slur. But I mean, look, here's why.
Whoa, watch out! I hope the police don't show up, man.
Huh?
What I'm asking is, let's say if they're 100% incorrect and you are 100% correct.
You just kind of proved my point, though, in using a slur there, right? This population.
You're not answering my question.
I will answer your question. I get your question. You don't have to repeat it. This population of people, and then I'm going to let you go because, dude, you really need to. I'm being honest with you. I would highly recommend you stop using that word. It's highly offensive.
Okay.
It's
okay.
All right, you want to be a sarcastic asshole? See you later. You don't want to take you think it's again, calling people the R slur is wrong. It's ableist and it's wrong. Period. So, and I don't know, you know, stop. I mean, it's very easy to take the advice when I'm saying don't say it anymore and say, you know what? You even said sorry originally because you do know it's wrong to say. But don't downplay its significance like, oh, it's no big deal once I've corrected it, because it is a big deal. And saying you're a lifelong Democrat and then you voted for Trump doesn't make any fucking sense.
Call from
Ricky Martin.
To accept, press 1. The voicemail.
Ricky Martin, are you a Trump supporter?
Hello?
Yes, Ricky. Are you a Trump supporter?
Hello?
Ricky, I've said hello 5 times.
Yes, I am.
Okay. Seems like you have somewhat of a lag. What's going on?
I'm sorry. I am a Trump supporter.
All right. What's going on, buddy? Why do you support Trump?
What's up, man? This is my first time seeing you here. I've spoken to you on TikTok. My name is Ricky Martin. I spoke to you before, but I think he's been doing good recently.
So, recently. So, okay. Oh, my God. So, again, why do you support Trump overall? Why are you still...
I think...
Do I know you? No, not that I remember. Why would I remember you from TikTok? Hey, Christy, thank you so much for the $5 super chat, Christy. Appreciate you. Why would I know you? Why would I remember you? Is it something significant? Did you say something to me?
Well, I picked your brain on a few things, and there's a lot of things that I've said to you that I think has made you question reality a little bit.
Like what?
I know you're kind of like an atheist.
No, I'm agnostic actually. I'm not atheist.
I think I was speaking to you this morning or yesterday, and you got upset because what did I say?
I wasn't on YouTube this morning.
No, TikTok. I mean yesterday, not this morning. Yesterday, or
Okay.
sometime recently. But I speak to you kind of often, and I feel like you kind of always make fun of me and bully me.
Okay. Well, I guess you'll have to get over it. Is that why
Okay,
you
well,
keep calling
I
in?
can pull up my. Huh?
Is that why you keep calling in? Because I
Well,
bully you so much?
this is my first time ever seeing you on YouTube. I saw that your thing was here on YouTube actually. So I have my notes here for why Trump is so good. If you want me to show you.
Your notes? No, I want you to tell me why you supported Trump and why you still support Trump given everything that's happening.
Oh well.
Someone remind me who this is on
dear,
TikTok. I'm sensing this is a troll, but I'm letting it go for the lulz, you know.
No, I mean I've spoken to you a lot, kind of often.
Okay, so I said I'm
show you my
agnostic.
username on
I said I'm agnostic. Why did you bring that up? I don't remember ever telling anyone that, but maybe I mentioned it in passing. What about it? What's wrong with being agnostic?
Well, there's no reason with it. I just feel bad because for a fellow human being, I just want everyone to get into heaven, and
Okay.
it's just sad to me when I hear that people won't be getting into heaven.
Do you understand the guy that you support, Trump, has admitted he's not going to heaven?
Is that real?
Yes. He just recently said he doesn't think he's going to heaven. In fact, let me see if I can bring it up for you, and I'll play it. Hold on. I can't guarantee I can pull it up because I don't have
Okay, let me pull up my notes.
Let me pull up my notes, he says. All right, let me play this. All right, here it is. You ready? I'm going to put you on hold on the phone call, and I'm going to play it through my live stream, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so you got to turn my live stream on. You're going on hold. I'm going to play it through the live stream.
Turn on live stream?
Yep, it's going to come through the live stream, not the phone. So I'm going to put you on hold here, and then you listen to it through the live stream. Okay.
Okay.
Here we go, everybody. Let's play this for this guy.
War in Ukraine because it might help. You had talked a couple of weeks ago, you were doing an interview and you talked about how you hope to end the war in Ukraine because it might help you get into heaven. How does this help? Does this help?
I mean, I'm being a little cute. I don't think there's anything going to get me in heaven. Okay, I really don't. I think I'm not maybe heaven bound. I may be in heaven right now as we fly in Air Force One. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to make heaven, but I've made life a lot better for a lot of people.
You had talked a couple of weeks ago, you were doing an interview and you talked about how you hope to end the war in Ukraine because it might help you get into heaven. How does this help? Does this help?
I mean, I'm being a little cute. I don't think there's anything going to get me in heaven. Okay, I really don't. I think I'm not maybe heaven bound. I may be in heaven right now as we fly in Air Force One. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to make heaven, but I've made.
So let's unmute this guy, and hopefully he heard it. Did you hear it?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. So all of this talk about heaven,
That's certainly
and
interesting.
the guy you support isn't going to make heaven. How does that make you feel?
Feels like he just. I mean, I know he is. So it feels like he just might be a little confused.
Really? So
because he is going to be there.
So you think he's going to be there? What if it comes out in the Epstein files that he was criminally involved with the world's most infamous PDF file?
That would be horrible.
So you don't think?
I have to probably look at him from a different angle.
So you think he's going to get into heaven after like all of the stuff we know, like in regards to his criminal conduct, saying he grabs women without their consent, right?
That's not cool if that's real. I don't know.
That is 100% real. He said it on Air Force One. It's 100% real. He admitted, I'm not. He literally said, "There's nothing that can make me heaven bound." He knows he's a shitty human. He knows he's done things that he cannot, come back from?
Listen to me, guy. You're really starting to pick me off now, okay? I'm trying to be the nice guy here, and I'm trying to be
Have a good day, Ricky. Stay pissed off. If you're a Trump supporter, call in 908-652-3703. 908-652-3703. Call in. Let's hear your take. If you're still supporting Trump, look, my feeling is a lot of people are embarrassed of their support of Trump. They don't, like, and I said this earlier, and I mean this statement. I think Hunter Biden is more patriotic than anyone who's MAGA. I'm willing to substantiate. Don't call on those numbers. Call on real numbers only.
Call from.
Hey.
Hey, what's going on? I think that Hunter Biden is more patriotic than anyone in MAGA. I stand 10 toes down on that. What's your first name?
My name's Jay.
Jay. Are you a Trump supporter, Jay?
Yeah, and way more than Hunter Biden.
Hunter Biden is not a Trump supporter. You mean you're more of a patriot than Hunter Biden? Is that what you mean?
I mean, of a supporter than Hunter Biden.
Well, Hunter Biden doesn't support.
He's no good. I can't believe that you would say that. But
Hunter Biden doesn't support Trump, so you being more of a Trump supporter than Hunter Biden isn't really much of an accomplishment. What's your first name again?
No.
Name, though.
You know. Hello?
Yes. Hi. What's your first name?
My name's Jay.
Okay, Jay. So why do you support Trump?
Can you?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I support Trump, yes.
Okay, why, Jay?
I mean, honestly, Trump has done a lot for the country. He's taken a bullet for our country. He's the president.
Whoa.
You know, he's the right man for the job. He's
taken a bullet for the country. He apparently got grazed in the ear. He did not take any bullets. No bullets were lodged in him. I don't know where you got that from.
Well, it went through him. It went through him.
No,
so
it
he
didn't.
took a bullet for the country. He's a hero.
No, it grazed his ear, Jay. Why do you guys always have to exaggerate?
Like a real life hero. He's really like one of the best presidents. I mean, and that's saying a lot. I know my U.S. history pretty well, and he's actually the right man for the job right now.
Cool. Give me your top.
Despite all of the.
You said he's the best president ever. Give me your top 5 presidents and why.
Well, right now, Trump is number 1, which is pretty crazy, I guess, if I'm going to make a top 5.
You're putting Trump above
let's just
FDR.
Go Jefferson, Adams.
You put Trump above FDR? Oh, my God.
Yes, sir.
Okay, why?
Then we go. Well, he's doing a lot for the American taxpayer, which we need. The deficit is not easy to improve, and the only way to do that is by stimulating the economy. And he's got to like.
He's not stimulating the economy. Give me your top 5.
I'm sorry, my top 5 presidents again?
You didn't give me them. You said Trump, and then who else?
All right. Well, I've never really been asked this since like middle school, but let's go Abraham Lincoln, JFK, George Washington, which is a rough choice, but I've got to go with it. And then on third.
Who's 4th?
Surface level.
Are you fucking
Why would that be surface level? I would.
JFK? You just put in the. Are you serious?
Yeah, he tried the hardest to actually get.
Yes, there was great effort, but I wouldn't
they
say
silenced
he's the top.
I mean,
oh God. Okay, whatever you say, buddy. Listen, you're. I think he was a great president too. But you put. Where's FDR? Where's FDR? Where is FDR? Where is FDR? How do you have a top 5 list with no FDR?
as long as we don't go into a police state, I'm gonna say that Trump is doing just about everything right.
Of course, he won't answer that.
I mean,
question.
that's my stance.
This guy literally has a top 5 list with no FDR. Could you be?
Your question was why?
Excuse me. No, you
Trump?
have the stupidest list of all time. You have the dumbest list of all time. The fact that you don't have FDR in your top 5.
You're never going to get.
Let me answer.
Why not just
let me answer your
mile,
question
bro?
about the police.
Why not just take the whole mile?
Let
bro?
me answer
you
the question.
Give an inch.
Let me answer. Dude, that's got to be a troll. That can't be a real guy. That's got that. You don't have FDR in your top 5. Get the fuck out of here. 908-652-3703. That's a fake number. Not taking that one. Guys, I can identify it's not a real number. I'm not bringing it up. No, I absolutely 100% would not. I don't need to. I can compile a top 5 without even including. I love JFK. But would I put Kennedy above FDR? No, and nobody who knows what they're talking about would.
Call from
Rich.
Rich, are you a Trump supporter, Rich?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Rich. And what do you think? Why are you still supporting Trump at this point? You know, we're on the brink of the Epstein files being released. Donald Trump's disastrous negotiating skills are taking us closer to World War III than ever before, right? His foreign policy has been an utter disaster, right? The border has been a disaster. His deportation operation specifically is. I just think he's done such a terrible job. Why are you still supporting him?
Mainly, first of all, I don't support him. He's our president. It's like I'm not paying his bills, so I'm not supporting him. I like him as a president. I learned during his first year in office, a couple years in office, that I'm a Christian. So what I learned is you pray for your leaders to make the best decisions on your behalf. So whoever it is, it was Biden, which at that time I didn't know that part of Christianity, but President Trump was the first president I actually prayed for to win, and I'm pretty sure a lot of Christians do. And so, I mean, well, so you just pray for him to make the best decisions on our behalf. And since we're doing that every day in our prayer, I have faith that things are working in our best interests.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I mean, it does, and obviously I'm going to disagree with you, right? And I don't mean to offend you. You're being respectful. But I will say, how does his behavior fit into your religion? I mean, the infidelity, right? He was on trial for.
So that's the cool.
Can I just finish?
Yeah,
though?
no,
can I just finish speaking though without being interrupted?
Go ahead. Sorry about that.
Yeah. So it's much easier
sorry about that,
for the sake of the listeners if we don't do that, right? So the infidelity. He was literally on trial, embarrassing himself, falling asleep in the courtroom for an election interference case that involved him being unfaithful to his wife, being spanked with a newspaper by a porn star. You know what I mean? He has a long history of saying, I grab women, inappropriately, because I'm famous and rich. He said, he makes statements to children, even children, young girls that were inappropriate. Told a 10-year-old girl, "I'll be dating you in 10 years." I'm just wondering, he was found civilly liable for rape. How do these things fit into your religion? Like, how does the guy that you're
if you know, like, Christians that have the Holy Spirit, they'll tell you that he fits perfectly in. Everybody that knows the Holy Spirit, we are the worst of the worst, brother. If you ask any of my friends, they'll be like, "Rich is a good, great guy." I'm a nice, great guy, but if they know the things I've done, which I'm pretty sure you have done things, like, he's a president, I understand that, but nobody on this earth besides Jesus was that good guy. So he fits perfectly technically in like, people in church are the worst of the worst. The Holy Spirit changes them, but we are the best. And me personally, I've done some bad things, and a lot of people that I know and love had no idea I've done, let alone my thoughts. So I honestly think he fits perfectly in. Well, he's one of us, just like you are, brother.
I understand what you're saying, and I do agree everyone makes mistakes. But I don't think everyone makes the mistakes that he made. Like, I can confidently say I've never essayed someone, right? I can confidently say you're never going to uncover me having a relationship with the most infamous PDF file in the world, right? If I knew a PDF file was frequenting my
that's not proven. That hasn't been proven, though.
Well, what's been proven, though, is that
hasn't been proven.
Well, so let me ask you, why was there a concerted effort to keep it from the American public if it hasn't? Like, why would you make such an effort to keep it from the American public if there's nothing damning in there?
I understand. I think if it makes sense because under Joe Biden, the files were there. I'm pretty sure they looked at the files, and the majority of Democrats were in that file. If they had anything of Trump in those files, they would have let it out because Russiagate, all the other scandals that they tried to put on Trump, if they had that when Biden was president, they would have came out of it. They had nothing. That's a problem.
So
you had to be logical about it. Like, they would have came out of it. Biden had the information, but they obviously, it was majority against Democrats. That's why he kept it. I mean, looking at the email that they released recently, and just what I know now, Epstein hated Trump because he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was one of those rich guy beefs because he's not in the cool club anymore because Trump kicked him out of the cool club. And look at the emails. It's literally emails of him just talking mess about Trump. Had nothing to do with anything involving like children or anything like that.
All right, can I just lay out my argument? I tried to let you speak as much as you could to get it all out, and I just want to lay out my argument.
Sorry about that, brother. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
Here's the point. There's two aspects to this conversation. One is the concerted effort to conceal the information, and the other is to the extent in which he had a relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. You have to be able to separate those things when you're having the conversation. Otherwise, you're right. It doesn't. You can make an argument that he's innocent if you don't separate them, right? Because they're two different things. So, and they're connected, but you have to talk about them separately. So number one, right? Donald Trump made an effort to conceal that information. Joe Biden did not, right? They were sealed under the Biden administration, right? Only federal judges have the authority.
Why would he talk? You
got to let me finish, dude. Right?
Why would he talk about? Sorry about that, brother. Go ahead.
So again, right? Federal law required the victims and their testimony, and there was certain information in there about minors specifically, and that by federal law has to be protected. There was grand jury testimony, right, and other materials that couldn't be released without approval from a federal judge. You had the appeal for the Ghislaine Maxwell case that was ongoing. So without an investigation. So you can't release documents regardless because you could jeopardize an ongoing investigation. So that's why Biden didn't release them. But let's not pretend for a second had Biden released them, and I always try and bring this up to Trump supporters, let's pretend for a second Biden had released them. The last guest you just heard come up here, or was it the guest before, made a claim, right, about Trump being a hero, and they tried to unalive him. Republicans were perpetuating narratives that Democrats were actively trying to unalive the president of the United States. Do you think MAGA would have believed something released by the Biden administration? Had the Biden administration released the Epstein files during the campaign, you guys would have dismissed it as misinformation. It would have lost most of its credibility. You would have largely dismissed it as them trying to keep him out of the White House. In fact, if I was Biden, I would let Trump deal with it, because after 5 decades in politics, Joe Biden was never implicated and has never been accused of having a relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Number two, the concerted effort to conceal that information from Trump goes beyond not just releasing it, right? Donald Trump sent his deputy attorney general to sit down with Ghislaine Maxwell prior to her testimony in front of the Oversight Committee to secure the narrative about Trump. Remember, Trump said, stop talking about Epstein once we found out that Pam Bondi informed him in May that he was in the files. Donald Trump found out the Oversight Committee was going to subpoena that testimony. It was pretty public information. Right after they find out they were going to subpoena her testimony, Trump sent his deputy attorney general, who is his former personal attorney, coincidentally defended him in that hush money case we were just talking about with the porn star previously, to sit down with Ghislaine Maxwell, an already convicted violent sex offender, right? And have her testify that Donald Trump, she never witnessed Donald Trump in a private setting acting inappropriately. The emails are relevant to me because it proves a contradiction in that testimony. The 2011 emails, you can see Epstein emailing Ghislaine Maxwell discussing the fact that Trump was in Epstein's residence in the presence of a victim. So that's him in a private setting. That Trump knew about the girls, that Trump was the dog that hadn't barked. You're right. There is no proof that Trump directly engaged in this criminal conduct in terms of abusing children. But there was a concerted effort to conceal it. He tried to convince Republicans not to sign on to the discharge petition. Why would Trump work so hard to keep Republicans from signing on to the discharge petition if there was nothing to hide? He would let that information come out. It would clear him, and he'd be done with it. Okay? He'd be finished with it. So there is an effort more than just not releasing it from Donald Trump. Now I ask you, why would you do those things if there's nothing in there that's damning?
Yeah, I think a pointed question. You have to be in the present, and in the present, he okayed it. So I understand like your argument on at one point he said no, release the files, but I mean as of like a couple weeks ago he said release them. So he's saying release them.
No.
And if you want to go on the basis of information that went out with Biden, they released the Russiagate, and we believed it. All the things that the Democratic Party released that we believed against Trump, they pushed it out. And we found out it was false, but when they pushed it out, we believed it for a good amount of time. So it's not like they haven't made efforts to disenfranchise Trump. We just caught on to it.
No.
So that case of like, oh, they would have said it before they tried, and we believed them on things they brought up, and it came about that they were lying. So it's not like they weren't trying to do that type of thing.
But what you just said is incorrect. He didn't start supporting you're talking about the legislation that was passed in the House with one nay vote, right? You're talking about the Epstein Transparency Act. Trump didn't support that until it was already going to the House. He tried to convince Republicans not to sign on to the discharge petition.
I gave it to. No, you're absolutely right. But at the end of the day, he still supported it.
No, but he had no choice. It passed it was a supermajority.
Okay, but if he had no choice, he's the president. He has choices.
No, he doesn't. There was a supermajority.
So I get at one point he didn't, but
I don't know if you understand this, but he quite literally had no choice. It passed with only one nay vote in the House. It passed with unanimous consent in the Senate. That means they all greenlit it. So he couldn't have vetoed it. They could have overridden the veto. He was in a position in which he had to sign that legislation. He only supported it when he realized he couldn't stop it. He made a concerted effort to keep it from the American people prior. Jen, thank you so much for the $4.99. And who was that up there before? Hold on one second, dude. Who was that up there before? Cassandra. Thank you so much, Cassandra. Guys, I would really appreciate contributing to the gift and goal. If you do support the live, I'd appreciate hitting the thumbs up. If you guys are new here, I'd appreciate subscribing. I usually debate on TikTok in the morning and YouTube in the evening. If you guys do enjoy political conversations, I'd appreciate hitting the subscribe button, but definitely hitting the thumbs up button. If you don't want to subscribe, that's fine. I would appreciate subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you don't miss the lives in the future. So the point is he didn't support it until it was already going through. So you can't say that he supports it because he had no choice but to support it. Okay?
Okay.
Now, why? Now answer me why. Answer me why. Please. Glasses Babe, thank you so much, Glasses Babe. Can you please now answer me why, please? Glasses Babe says, someone tell this guest that you can't claim to be a Christian and lie throughout the conversation he isn't Christian. Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if he's lying or he just doesn't understand or doesn't know. Why did Donald Trump make a concerted effort to keep it from the American people? Please just answer.
I mean, something that if you're really asking me when I sit down and think about it, I honestly think because he knows what's in the files, he knows the name of those files, and as being a president, even though he's a Republican Party, he knows what names are in the Democratic Party, like Clinton and all the other people. And I feel like that's his way of being one of the boys. It's like if you were, I just feel like I'm assuming that's where his head's at. He tried to protect people that like he didn't initially like, and I mean, and he's just like, okay, you guys keep asking for it, you guys will get the answer. I don't think he's wasn't pushing it because he was in it. I think he knew the people that were in it, that they were high ranked like Democrats. I mean, obviously you see like all the funding he gave to the Democratic Party. So I think he knew that, and I think he was trying to protect them being a nice guy. Honestly,
Bro,
that's if you're really asking me.
You're kidding. Wait. So you're going to tell me, first of all, as a Christian, that you would support someone, and what you're talking about is covering up the essay of children. That's number one. That's deeply concerning. Maria, thank you.
First of all,
Hold
brother,
on, dude. Hold on.
I don't know if he's Christian or not. I don't think he's Christian.
Hold on. Maria, thank you so much for becoming a tadpole.
Yeah,
Appreciate you, Maria.
Sorry, brother.
So the point is, right, is that there was a concerted effort to conceal it. You're making excuses now for a cover-up. And being one of the boys is just another way of saying you're protecting sexual abusers. That's not acceptable in any sense. I don't care if you're protecting the boys or not. But this idea.
What do you think Biden? What do you think the Biden administration did?
What do you mean?
Do you think they didn't do that? Because it's all.
Didn't I already explain
all of a sudden
to you that
it's a big deal when Trump's president.
I already explained to you they were under strict federal court orders. The judges only federal judges have the authority to unseal them.
So
the president doesn't.
No, you're absolutely right. But let me ask you something. What's going on now with them forcing Trump to release the files? Why didn't they do that with Biden? I'm like, it makes sense if why didn't they do the same type of
I'll explain
situation with Biden?
Sure.
Why is it such a big deal now?
Sure.
Explain that to me.
Yeah, so I'll
if it was so bad, if it was such an issue, why didn't they do the same thing with Biden that they did to Trump?
Okay, you're done. I just want to make sure you're done.
Because they were getting information from Epstein during trial. So
no, they weren't. So
it was such a big. If you saw the text message feed, you saw the text from the Caribbean, whatever that what governor or whatever. We saw those text message feeds during I forgot it wasn't a trial, but it was his information or whatever like that. So they were getting information from him directly.
So
Democratic. So it's
Ghislaine
he funded a bunch of. So it's why?
Because you had the Ghislaine Maxwell trial and appeal. So by law, it couldn't have been released. Okay. Number two.
Okay. When does that end though? When does that end?
They typically refer to the grand jury. It ended at I think towards the end of 2024, at the end of 2024. But I already explained to you grand jury testimony and the records, because some people just release part of the records. They can only be released with approval from a federal judge. It's not even up to Biden, right? He literally did not have the authority to release those files.
No, I'm not saying it's up to Biden. I'm saying, I get what you
didn't. What you're asking is why didn't they pass legislation? Even if you passed legislation, the information would have had to be redacted. Do you understand? There's a provision in the current bill that allows for information that pertains to an ongoing investigation to be redacted. Do you know why?
Why?
Because it's illegal to release information that could jeopardize an ongoing investigation.
Yeah.
So even if you passed, so let's say that they said, okay, we're going to pass legislation to force the release of the Epstein files, right? The information would have been largely redacted because of the things that I mentioned previously. Here's the thing you have to also understand. This is not a party issue. This isn't an issue that has to do with political parties and your affiliation to a political party. Both sides are going to be held accountable in some regard. Now, there's different levels to this. Who accepted donations knowing that this was a already convicted sex offender? There's going to be people like that. There's going to be people that knew about his abuse and continued a friendship. On a personal level, there's going to be people that hung out with him. The accusations against Trump are far more than that. And they're outside of politics because this relationship was before he was ever in elected.
If they're more than that, why wasn't he prosecuted then? If more than that, why was he never prosecuted?
No one was ever
before he went to trial or all that.
Why wasn't Prince Andrew ever prosecuted?
Oh, okay.
So there's a number of reasons why I can answer that question. Do you know how many Epstein victims there are?
Yeah.
How many?
Yeah, I think there's over a couple hundred, right?
No.
A couple hundred, I think.
No, there's close to 2,000, they think, roughly. There's a number of them that haven't come forward because they're terrified. When you accuse, this is often why people who are victims of sexual abuse don't come forward when the person who abused them is rich and powerful, because they are terrified that person's going to come after them, right? And they often do come after them.
Yeah.
We've seen it. We've seen it with Trump.
Yeah.
It's no joke when it comes to rich and powerful. So there's no doubt that there's rich and powerful people tangled up in this entire thing. And it's going to be a web of corruption. Certainly, no one's denying that. Here's the issue. I want you to understand, okay? This is not a political issue. But what I'm noticing is it's only MAGA that is defending Trump and a politician, because Trump is a politician in that regard. Democrats have been open to transparency. This actually was polled recently. Democrats overwhelmingly support transparency in regards to this particular issue. I'm not saying there's not going to be Democrats exposed, but Democrat voters want transparency. You're trying to defend Trump's involvement. You don't want Trump to get caught.
No, not at all.
You don't.
No,
hold on. You don't want Trump to get caught. I want the truth. You don't want Trump to get caught, and I want the truth.
If he's in there, if he's in there, then that's terrible. I personally think that he's not in there. I think that he was an old friend of Epstein, and that's it. I do not think that he was in there, to be honest with you.
Can I ask you? So there's levels now. The Mar-a-Lago relationship. You understand? Trump openly admitted he gave him a warning, right? He didn't ban him immediately. The bidding for Mar-a-Lago was in 2004. Do you know when Epstein was supposedly banned from Mar-a-Lago?
No.
2007. 2007 is after he was arrested.
That's a long time.
But 2007, he was already arrested for sex-related crimes. So what I'm saying is this idea that Trump didn't know about it is ridiculous. He probably did. I don't know to what extent he knew. I don't know to what extent he engaged in the behavior. I'm not going to say Trump abused children because I don't have that proof in the files. But let's say Trump knew about it, facilitated it. Maybe it's less than participation. Are you still going to support that? Because here's why. Remember the beginning of our conversation about remember the beginning of our conversation about the concerted effort to conceal it? If the information is beyond what he previously disclosed publicly, right? Then that we now understand why there was a concerted effort to conceal it, and that's illegal. And he interfered with the Oversight Committee's investigation into the truth about these files and his relationship to Jeffrey Epstein, and then he should be impeached. The Department of Justice. What's the Department of Justice? What's the job of the Department of Justice?
To defend the country.
To uphold the rule of law, right? To protect the interests of American citizens. Yeah. If the Department of Justice is working as a private law firm for the president to conceal information from the American public because it could be otherwise damaging to his administration, is that impeachable? And should those people step down?
Oh, definitely, for sure.
Okay, so there we go.
I don't think it's going to happen though. I don't think that's the case. I definitely they should step down and be impeached, but I do not think that's the case. Not even close.
But
I think when the files come out,
I'm just glad that you've conceded now because
it's not.
You were not at this point in the beginning of the conversation. That's why it's so important that we talk this through, because people look at this as if the accusation is he directly engaged in that type of criminal conduct. Nobody is saying that. What they're saying is there's clearly something in there. And the emails, right, obviously, are concerning because they indicate there was a relationship, that Trump was aware of criminal conduct, that he was in a private setting with this individual, which is weird. We see what's happening to Prince Andrew now. Regardless, it doesn't have to be directly engaging in the abuse. If there's something in there and maybe their relationship extended beyond what Trump said about kicking him out of Mar-a-Lago, right? What if it's like, oh, well, they talked a lot longer than Trump previously said. Well, then he tried to keep that a secret and he used the Department of Justice and the FBI to do that. How can you sit there as a Christian, right? And I mean no offense by this, but I have to say it this way. How can you sit there as a Christian and tell me it doesn't bother you that the FBI testifies under oath that Epstein did not traffic any young girls to anyone but himself? That is testimony from the director of the FBI.
Well, yeah, that's a problem for sure. But I'm pretty sure they're saying that because it was for his gain.
He's
It's
under
like a broad
oath.
way of them saying like
He's under oath. This is the same director of the FBI that claimed there was a black Rolodex in Christopher Wray's possession, and that the FBI was keeping it a secret because there was all these powerful people in it. And then all of a sudden Trump gets in office. He's informed by Pam Bondi that he's in the files, and it all goes away. You don't find that suspicious?
it's suspicious, but it is suspicious when you look at it that way. But you don't know until you know. So there's been plenty of times where I thought something of a person and it wasn't true. So you got to wait till it comes out. You don't want to assume because you assume make an ass of yourself. Just like we did with the Russiagate, just like we did with Biden's son's laptop. You don't want to assume until the information comes out.
Well, you've never seen the laptop, so you've never seen. But
if you want to go by information, like everything the media puts out, technically was the opposite. So if we're going off of what we know, what's the story? Trump's in the files, all the jazz. So
that's why I just broke it down to you the way I did, to cut through that bullshit and tell you.
They broke the same thing down with Russiagate.
But again,
they broke the same thing down with Russiagate
again,
and Biden's son's laptop.
What about what I just?
I get what you're saying, but
no. What about? Wait, okay. So then I'll just ask you, right? Give me one logical, reasonable explanation. The deputy attorney general, who was your personal attorney just months ago, is sitting down with an already convicted violent sex offender after you're informed you're in the files. And coincidentally, when you find out the oversight committee is going to subpoena that testimony, give me one logical, reasonable explanation. Remember, there's not an ongoing investigation. Why is the deputy attorney general sitting down there and the only information we get is about Trump? Give me a reasonable, logical explanation.
I'm assuming they wanted to know what she knew.
Why? Why do they need to know?
I'm assuming because I feel like they didn't trust the files that they had from the previous administration.
Wait,
and so they wanted to know exactly what she knew.
Wait, why do they? She's going to testify.
I don't think they trust the files that they had. They want to go to the person's mouth.
What do you mean? It would come from her mouth anyway. They were going to subpoena her.
Being under oath and having a meeting with no cameras, no recordings is a totally different story.
What are you talking about? I'm asking you a really.
So when they interviewed her, there was no video. When they interviewed her, there was no video. There was no camera.
You can listen to the testimony. You can listen to it.
I'm talking about what. Not the testimony. I'm talking about when Trump's officials talked to her in jail, in prison. That was a private conversation.
What was?
I think they wanted to know what she knew.
Let me explain this to you. She's already convicted. She's already been sentenced. Exactly. She's in prison for the rest of her life. She's in Florida. Does she have every reason to lie at that point to please the deputy attorney general and the president? So ultimately, she gets moved to a minimum security dorm. You know this. I made a video in July that this meeting was quid pro quo. I made a video on July 22nd. Right when we found out Todd Blanche was going to go sit down with Ghislaine Maxwell. You can go watch it on my TikTok. It got a shitload of views. I called it out immediately. I said, this is a quid pro quo meeting. They're trying to secure the narrative. And now and then 2 days later after I said that, she got moved to a minimum security dorm in Camp Bryan, Texas, where she's now has an emotional support dog. She gets customized meals, private workout sessions. She's being rewarded for securing the narrative about Trump. Guy, listen, it's this simple. If you're innocent, you don't need to go sit down to make sure she's not going to say something that will implicate you. If you're innocent, you don't go
not
make
necessarily,
sure.
Not necessarily.
Yes, oh my God.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But if they didn't trust the files that they had, then I would make sure. What does she know? Because
trust what
I would want to make sure.
What files?
The files from the testimony from the 5 years before that interview.
Why wouldn't they trust the testimony?
Why wouldn't they trust the testimony?
Yeah. What would she have to gain?
There's a lot of reasons why you wouldn't.
She's already been convicted. So here's the point. You're putting her in a position. By the way, she's a violent sex offender. She participated in the abuse. She does not deserve the treatment she's getting. So I can be critical of the administration just having a quid pro quo meeting with someone who engaged in the behavior.
But she didn't have to talk to him either. She didn't have to talk to him.
But she was.
Like, if I was a lawyer and I was like, you don't have to talk to this.
She was rewarded.
Yeah. So if I was a lawyer and I was like, you don't have to talk to these people, but if you do, what do you want to get out of this? It makes perfect sense. It's like that's like 1 + 1 is 2.
Not.
She didn't have to talk to them.
Wait. It makes perfect sense if they were conducting an investigation to further prosecute more people, but that's not what was happening. It was just about Trump. We didn't get any new information.
Deals made without that.
Yeah, and they've been secretive about the meeting. By the way, they deny it's quid pro quo.
We kind of did. She kind of confirmed that Trump wasn't. We kind of did get new information that Trump wasn't like had nothing to do with it for what she said. So we kind of got new information.
Yeah. So
that was floating around that he was.
So if she says Trump had nothing to do with it, and by the way, Todd Blanche is in deep trouble now if these files come out and prove what the emails say. Would she?
Yeah, should be.
Is it more likely that she and Epstein would lie in 2011 before Trump's even in elected politics, or her after she's already been criminally convicted? What's more likely true? A private email conversation between Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein, or after?
I mean, did they?
She's already been convicted.
You're right, but did they plead guilty or did they go to trial?
But
did they plead guilty or did they go to trial?
No, she went to trial. She was convicted.
If they went to trial, then yeah, they were trying to get out of it.
Wait, no,
yeah, I know,
this was in 2011.
She went to trial.
Guy, this was before the big arrest. This was in 2011. This was in 2011. You have the timeline fucked up.
You're talking about Epstein or Maxwell?
I'm talking about both of them. It was a private email conversation they were having about Trump being in his residence in the presence of a victim, about Trump knowing about the girls, which, by the way, himself admitted that he was present.
Okay.
That he was frequenting Mar-a-Lago.
Now let me ask you something.
That he was frequenting Mar-a-Lago and that he warned him to stop poaching young girls from Mar-a-Lago and did not ban him until he allegedly sexually harassed a young girl who was whose father worked there.
Okay. Hypothetically, if you want to be realistic about this, who in the hell sends emails to each other? Emails, not calling someone on the phone and saying hey, Trump was in the room with this girl. Let's think about that logically. Oh yeah, let me send an email to Maxwell, even though I have her phone number. I can call her right now. No, our phone's not tapped. Come on, brother. It's 2000 whatever. Nobody's doing that, bro.
2011.
If they were in their 80s, I would believe it. Okay, they're sending emails.
Guy,
bro, come on. How old were they? If they were in their 80s, okay, they're emailing. But nobody's emailing. Hey, did Trump, the president? Well, let's think for a second. Let's just take a second and think about that.
You're grasping for straws. You're grasping
about the crimes they're committing. Come, brother.
So let me explain something to you.
No,
do you know what a
you guys are by
is?
saying they're sending emails about the presidents that were in.
Do you know what a BlackBerry is?
Yeah, I used to have. That's my favorite phone, brother.
Yeah.
That's my
BlackBerry
favorite.
was the most.
That's my favorite
It was
phone.
like the most popular phone in 2011. What was the BlackBerry designed for communication?
Yeah, but why was it popular? But why was it popular?
Because email was popular.
Because the keyboard. The keyboard.
Thank you for walking face first into my point.
Just the keyboard, bro.
The keyboard, because you just walked face first into my point. You literally just broke your nose on.
Exactly,
the point,
but if it's 2011, everybody had a BlackBerry. No. Because if it's 2011, everybody that had a BlackBerry had an iPhone. Everybody had an iPhone at that time. Come on, if you want to play the phone game, they were on iPhones.
Let's
be honest.
You lost.
Nobody's sending emails about the president.
Yes, dude, he wasn't the president.
Come on, let's think about that, brother.
He wasn't.
Okay,
oh my God, I can't believe this guy just said he's the president. Holy fuck! No, guy.
Okay,
I'm done. Guy, we got to move on.
Okay.
You literally just said about the president.
There you're running.
I'm not running.
Say he wasn't the president. It's still Donald Trump.
You lost, and you're refusing to accept the truth.
Who's sending emails about celebrities?
You refuse to accept the truth.
Brother, come on, you're reaching. You're reaching
guy,
like the media.
You're claiming people don't fucking email each other. People don't email each other.
Bro,
what the fuck?
Yeah, about the crimes they're doing. About the crimes they're doing.
Wait, they didn't specifically
What? In
state
2011
crime.
email
They
was?
didn't specifically state
In
crimes
2011 were the thing?
Guy,
Come on,
you
brother.
clearly didn't read the fucking emails, because I'm not talking about them saying
Who
crimes
said
they were
the
doing.
emails what the crimes they're doing?
I didn't say they said crimes they
Then
were
what did
doing.
why would they talk about?
Again,
Then what were they talking about in their emails then?
Trump's presence.
What were they talking about in their emails?
Trump being present in Epstein's house in the presence of someone we now
Why
know.
would they email each other about that? That doesn't make any sense. They
Have
make
a
a phone
good
call.
day. You're in fucking
Why
denial.
did they make a phone call? Why did they call you?
You're in fucking denial, and now you're crashing out like they all do. Now you're crashing out like they all do. I'm going to state this again, right? And of course he's going to crash out because that's what they do when they get put in a corner. In 2011, yes, people absolutely used email. The BlackBerry was the most popular phone at the time. Why? Because email was the primary form of communication. That was before text became big. Oh, Lordy. Oh, my God. And yes, and by the way, we're talking about older people anyway. We're not talking about, like, kids. We're talking about people who are older. Tony Michael, yes, the host doesn't want to know the truth. Yes, it's the host who's struggling with the truth. Guys, hold on 1 second really quick. I just have to use the bathroom really quick. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I would really appreciate everybody hitting the thumbs up button. If you support the live, I would appreciate it. Sharing the live out to your friends and family, posting it on your Facebooks. I would appreciate the support. If you guys are enjoying the live so far, I'd appreciate spamming some ones in the chat. Actually, let's get some blue hearts in the chat. Let's get some love for the Democrat tidal wave. I think that's going to be occurring during the midterms. That's my prediction. Let's get some blue hearts. Spam some blue hearts. Let's get some blue hearts, everybody. Let's get some blue hearts. I want to see if you're somebody out there that's hoping for a Democrat tidal wave come the midterms. Give me those blue hearts, baby. Give me those blue hearts. If you're hoping and praying for a Democrat tidal wave, flood this chat with blue hearts like we've never seen before. Flood this chat with blue hearts. Let's see it. If you're a Trump supporter or you want MAGA to have a successful midterm, then I guess you can type a red heart. I guess you can type a red heart. All right. If you are a Trump supporter, you can call in 908-652-3703. If you are new here, I would appreciate contributing to the gifting goal, subscribing. You guys can become members of the channel. Becoming members of the channel.
Call from
Tyson.
Sorry, becoming members of the channel really helps the channel. Would appreciate it. You could do that at the bottom right there where the super chat is, but just supporting the channel in any way you can, I would really appreciate it. Sorry, what's your first name, dude?
Tyson.
Okay, Tyson, and you're a Trump supporter, Tyson?
I was, but
You're still supporting him.
there are some things that he does that I do agree with, but there are other things that he has done that I am completely opposed to. I mean, I went to 4 of his rallies because I supported him so much, but
You went to 4?
I am highly suspicious of
his activities when it comes to things around the world, especially with wars. The thing that you've been talking about with the Epstein files being released and how sketchy that is.
That is sketchy. I'm glad you're able to see that. But here's the thing, man. Let me be completely honest with you. Okay? You're right there. You know, your heart and your soul is telling you to stop supporting this crap. Are you a patriot? What about wars didn't you like specifically? I'm just curious. You said something about wars.
Yeah, the support, the continuation of the Ukraine war, all thing that happened there.
Wait, what do you mean
that continues to happen there? You know, the weapons that continue to be funneled through to Ukraine, the billions of dollars that continue to be funneled there.
Okay, so just out of curiosity,
I don't support war.
Okay, but again, that's like, I'm asking you, why specifically you don't support war, but Ukraine didn't start the war.
No, Russia did.
Right, so they're simply defending themselves. Do you know why they're defending themselves?
So the reason that Russia went to war in the first place is because there were a lot of Nazi Ukrainians.
Not true.
And yes, there were Nazi Ukrainians that basically wanted to be part of Russia.
It's not true.
They even had voting that happened where they wanted to become part of Russia because that region of Ukraine was more Russian than they were Ukrainian.
Yeah, you're wrong. So that's not why. So to start off, let me just state a couple things. You're referring to the Azov battalion specifically, and we have Nazis here in the United States. That is what they claimed originally, but their real reason was they didn't want eastward expansion from NATO. That is ultimately why they did what they did.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So, and is there a formal treaty that limits their eastward expansion?
Not aware of.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
As far as an eastward treaty that limits the expansion, I don't know of a treaty that limits them from expanding eastward.
There is no
but
treaty.
I do know that Russia did not want an expansion.
That's nice, but Russia's not a member of NATO.
From
Russia's
Ukraine.
Not. They're not a member of NATO,
Correct.
though. They don't get to determine whether or not NATO expands eastward, right? NATO's a defensive alliance. They can expand eastward if they want. Vladimir Putin wants to expand the Soviet Empire, and that's why he doesn't want the expansion of NATO eastward, okay? Because he obviously wants to take Ukraine so he can ultimately attack Poland and recreate what he wants is a new Soviet Union ultimately. But understanding this regardless, right? And of course he did claim denazification was a justification for the war, but that's not the real. He pivoted almost immediately after and said it was about eastward expansion. So that was to try and fearmonger people into like getting on his side, claiming they were Nazis. We have Nazis in the United States. It wouldn't be justified for Canada to invade us because we have Nazis. We have Nazis in our military. We have Nazis in Congress. We have Nazis, according to some people, in the White House. So it's impossible to it's impossible to justify invading a country because they have Nazis in their military. It's absolutely absurd, especially from an American citizen. But ultimately, when it comes down to this, I want you to understand that the reason, like you say you want to end this, do you want to stop all support? Because Trump is trying to, I mean, I'm not defending Trump here. I'm actually against what he's doing. But he's been trying to end the war by siding with Russia and giving them what they want. Like, he's actually been attempting to do that. That's what I'm opposed to. So that's why I was just curious why you said that's a reason you're not supporting him anymore. His inability to negotiate is what ultimately has resulted in not finding a resolution here, right? He has proven he has an inability to negotiate. Yeah. He started with attacking Zelensky, right? And then he tried to flatter Putin, and Putin didn't fall for it. And then he started attacking Putin, and then he went back to attacking Zelensky. Now he was back to attacking Zelensky again when he didn't accept the 28-point peace plan. Now he's back to supporting Zelensky again with this 19-point peace plan that Russia has yet to accept. Have you seen the 28-point peace plan? It's literally a Russian wish list. Right now, I don't think it's 28 anymore. I think it's 19 now.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all like surrender large portions of the Donbass region, right? How do they recover economically if you surrender their heartland? Like they eventually the country dies. Maybe not when Trump's president, but eventually they don't recover economically. They suffer a Great Depression, and Russia swallows them anyway. So his inability to negotiate is really what you should be critical there, not because he hasn't like willingly extended the war. He's just stupid. Okay? Like he doesn't know what he's doing.
Well, he could have pulled all support out from the get-go and not allowed our CIA and our intelligence agencies to continue to help Ukraine out, which would have ended it fairly quickly.
With severe consequences
along
for
with
us.
he could have stopped. Oh, absolutely. There would be severe consequences. This whole thing it's insane to begin with. Russia shouldn't have done it in the first place. But what you said regarding Russia going into Ukraine and them taking over that portion, they wanted to rule a huge section of the land, for one, because of resources, and two, because of access to the sea there that allows them to basically rule over that entire region and have control of the sea there. And it would create more of a buffer zone.
Right. No, the there was, so it's really, regardless, the concessions are too much, okay? You can't make such territorial concessions, especially in that region, and expect that you can recover economically without substantial international support. They obviously will crumble. But I was just trying to get through to you that Donald Trump is not the reason, like he's not deliberately doing that because he's supporting Ukraine. I just wanted to clarify. It's happening because he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, right? He has little to no understanding, right, of what he's doing. And you know, he said he was going to resolve this war 24 hours after becoming president-elect. Did that not, were you not suspicious when he said this war will be resolved 24 hours after becoming president-elect? Didn't you realize then he was a fucking lying idiot? Like, why did you not at that point go, oh, this guy's ridiculous? He has such an ego, he believed he was going to out-negotiate Putin. Putin's made him look like a fool.
Oh, absolutely. Time and time again, he's made him look like a fool when it comes to the whole Ukraine thing. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I guess you're not really supporting Trump anymore. I mean, here's the thing, man, and you brought up the Epstein stuff too. You can't have one or the other, right? We're at the point now where you need to abandon all support or support him. Listen, because there's going to be a line drawn in the sand here. I'm just letting you know. We've reached that point. When these Epstein files drop, you're going to see Democrats largely support holding people accountable, and you're going to see MAGA make a decision. And it's going to be one that this country is not going to like, and it's going to be supporting Donald Trump through whatever that accusation is. I can almost guarantee you. And I would draw your line in the sand before that happens.
You're probably right, but I sure hope not. I mean, there's a lot of good that Trump does, but at the same time, there's a flip side. It really sucks because it puts us in a position as a country that it's like, well, what do you pick? I mean,
well, if the president is actively covering up SA of children, I would say you pick removing him. But I also, did you hear about the case I made for impeachment?
Absolutely.
Did you hear about the case I made with the previous guest involving like the coordinated effort to conceal it? Because I can make a case for a criminal cover-up, which justifies articles of impeachment. Did you hear my case there?
I did, and I mean, if this is how what I personally feel. If Trump's in those files, and it's something that is that he is guilty of, where he is participating in that disgusting crap or allowing it to happen. I mean, if you have knowledge of stuff that's happening and you do nothing about it, you're guilty.
What if he knows about it? What if he knows about it and didn't do anything? What if his relationship extends far beyond what he previously told people? And so he knew that he was engaging in this category of crime and continued his relationship. What if like, you know, there's documents that prove like he was in the present when it was happening. Like, it doesn't have to be directly engaging in it. Regardless, if it's something beyond what he previously disclosed publicly, then that proves, right, that there was a cover-up because that information would have been damning to his administration. I can prove it now. I mean, I don't have to wait, but there'll be solid evidence when you can provide this was the ultimate goal, right? You have to give some kind of motive. Motive would be very important in this case, right? But I can explain to you how, and through the emails I probably could establish motive anyway if I really wanted to get into it. But the point is, there was a coordinated effort to conceal it from the American public. The Department of Justice is not there to work in a defense attorney capacity. The Department of Justice is there to protect the public's interests. So if he has the Department of Justice and the FBI working on his behalf, we're in trouble. This stuff with the FBI is very, very suspicious too. Keep an eye on this. I have a prediction. Dan Bongino, right, who built his career on social media around the Epstein stuff, Dan Bongino. Now they've appointed a co-deputy director of the FBI. There isn't anything more insulting than appointing a co-deputy director, essentially saying, you're bad at your job, and I don't think you can do it, so we're going to put someone in there who can do it, and we're going to make you co-deputy of the FBI. The director of the FBI, Kash Patel, is on the hot seat as well. If Kash Patel gets fired, Dan Bongino gets fired. If Dan Bongino gets fired, he might talk. He might be a part of an attempt to remove him from office. So be on the lookout for Dan Bongino, because Dan Bongino, I disagree with this guy on every single issue. Dan Bongino, his reputation is on the line. Every single person who ever supported him on social media knows his entire campaign was the Epstein files need to be released or it would destroy our country. If he's gone silent, remember, he walked out of the FBI building when he found out Trump was in the files. And then they had a secret meeting with the chief of staff, the director of the FBI, him, and Pam Bondi. He was so pissed off, right? And then now you've heard nothing from him since. It's clear there's been a cover-up. And if you listen, don't wait until this comes out. I would stop supporting him as soon as possible. Listen, I'm going to move to the next caller. Thank you for calling in. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Take care. If you're a Trump supporter, you can call in. I would appreciate calling in 908-652-3703. I'm looking for Trump supporters that are 10 toes down in support of Donald Trump. I do not want people that half-ass support him. If you support Trump, right, and there's no doubt about it, you're going to continue to support him, I want to hear from you. If you don't support Trump, I would appreciate hitting the thumbs up. If you guys do enjoy the live, I would appreciate subscribing, making sure you hit the notification bell. It's getting kind of late. I've already been on here 108 minutes. Like to see some support in chat.
Call from.
What's your name?
Oh, William.
William, are
Hello.
you 10 toes down in support of Donald Trump?
Yes.
Okay, why?
100%, yes.
Okay, why? 100%.
Usually, mostly because of the extension of the TCJA tax cuts, getting rid of tax on overtime.
So you think getting rid of tax on overtime is the reason that you're 10 toes down? That's the best you can do for me?
Yeah, that's like $5,000 for me.
Is $5,000 more important than children being abused?
Also, the TCJA tax cuts. Well, we can talk about that, but
no, I'm just curious. Is $5,000?
I'm just curious about you. Are you going to let me answer?
Well, I mean, it's just a pathetic answer, right? If your answer is Trump, first of all, he didn't completely eliminate taxes on overtime pay. Okay, you're talking about the one.
No, you get a rebate.
Yeah.
So
I
know how it
works. I don't think you do.
I can explain to you how it works.
I don't need you to explain. I already know, dumbass. What I'm saying to you is,
I don't know.
Is $5,000? Is that why I just told you? Right. What is the
deduction?
What is the deduction?
How it works.
All right.
How
tell
do
me,
you think it works?
What does the deduction cover?
The deduction covers. I can pull up the exact number if you want.
He doesn't
but
know. So you don't know. So
I'm just proving. I
asked
you
one question, and now you have to look it up. You don't know,
Yeah, no, it's 12,000. I believe it's 12,000.
Let's pretend
the number off of the top of my head is 12,000.
12,500.
So basically, it takes your tax bracket, right?
Hold on,
so you multiply
12,500. But let me just explain something really quick. The point is, you think $5,000, I don't care what amount of money, is more important than what we're witnessing with this Epstein. So I'm just seriously curious. Is that seriously your answer?
I'm seriously curious. Do you think that's what I said?
Yeah, that's literally what I asked you. And you said yes.
It's not. Am I muted?
No. Why would we mute you?
I'm waiting for you to respond.
I can't mute
I asked you
You're
a question.
waiting for me to respond. That's what
yeah,
you
I asked
said.
you a question.
I didn't hear your question.
I asked you. No, I didn't.
Said.
I did not say that. That you're totally lying.
You did say that. It's the first thing.
No, I didn't.
So I said, why are you still...
I said we could talk about it. I literally said,
so we can
talk about that.
So let me lay it out for you then.
No, you just made an accusation. Apologize.
Bro, you either let me talk, just shut up and let me fucking speak, or I'm just going to boot you. All right? Like, I don't care. There's
okay, go ahead.
All right,
speak.
See you later, dumbass. I don't there's 1 in a million. I don't need to fucking fight with you over this. Either you let me lay it out or you don't. I don't give a shit either way. Doesn't make a difference to me. If you're a Trump supporter and you support Trump 10 toes down, call in 908-652-3703. I asked you right away one question. What does it cover? Oh, I need to look it up. So again, you don't know. So yes, I would need to explain it to you. You don't even know what you support. Just to be super clear, he did not completely eliminate taxes on overtime pay. So maybe you need to educate yourself a little more. Let's see if we can get a Trump supporter who actually supports Trump 10 toes down. 908-652-3703. I know he said he's waiting for me to talk after I was the last person who spoke. I don't know if he cut out or if he just didn't know what to say. I don't know. If you call in right now, 908-652-3703. Oh, actually, I did explain it. Oh, you're the same guy that called in before. The drunk guy? I didn't even realize it was the same guy. That was the same guy? I didn't know. It sounded like a different guy to me. I don't know. If you support Trump 10 toes down, no matter what, call in. 908-652-3703. Hunter Biden is more of a patriot than MAGA, and that's why they're unwilling to admit it. They can't give me a reasonable, logical explanation as to why they support Trump. That guy said $5,000. $5,000? You know what the most disturbing thing that I've found out through the course of having the conversation over the last 2 weeks that pertains to Epstein is how many Trump supporters should not be fathers. How many Trump supporters are just like dangerous and shouldn't be around children.
Call from
William.
Are you the guy I just talked to?
Yeah, you're.
Oh, then fuck off. You're not calling back in after that. Fuck out of here. You think now you're going to call back in once you've cooled off? Listen, I'll let you call back in if you call back in and say, excuse me, sir, I apologize for mouthing off to you. I will never do it again. I'll let you speak, all right? William?
Call from
William.
Okay, are you ready to apologize?
Are you ready to apologize?
No, I'm not
apologizing. You accused me of carrying...
You did.
No, you made an accusation.
Literally what you said, William.
Son, you made an accusation.
I did, and I will stand 10 toes down on that accusation. Go crash out somewhere else. Listen, here's my advice for you. Phone a friend, because I don't give a fuck. That's my advice. Phone a friend. Call your friend. Listen, he's crashing out and he's calling me 1,000,000 times now. You made an accusation. You can go replay the live. You literally said it. That's what I asked you. Listen, call a friend and be like, listen, adamcrai said that I would rather get $5,000 than then support transparency in regards to the Epstein files and see what your friend says. By the way, did everyone in here enjoy their holiday? Are you guys excited for Christmas? Are you going to make a list and check it twice? Is everyone excited? Who's got their Christmas tree up already? It's only the 29th of November. But I know some of you probably have your Christmas trees up already. I know many of you probably have your Christmas trees up already. All right, let's see. I'm going to open the phone lines. I have to turn them off because I get spammed with, like, people calling on private numbers and bullshit. If you're a Trump supporter, call in 908-652-3703. Adam is more petty than you, William. You're going to lose every time. That's right. That's true. I am definitely more petty. William.
Call from.
William, you have. William, you.
A question. No.
William,
hey, man.
William,
we're going to talk about Hunter Biden. Every MAGA is more patriotic
than that. Biden is more
we're going to talk about it.
Hunter Biden is more patriotic.
Yeah, I'm willing to do your
Hunter
prompt.
Biden. No, William, I'm not interested. Hunter Biden is more
he
patriotic.
pled guilty on 9 counts of tax fraud.
Trump is guilty too. He's
1.4 million. You
Trump's
said every MAGA person. You said that.
And they voted for a convicted felon. And
so you're looking at 1.4 million.
They voted for a convicted felon.
Okay,
too.
Let's think about me.
Is Trump a convicted felon?
Hey, son.
Don't call me son. Listen, troglodyte.
Fake.
Don't call me. Listen, you're not going to call me son. All right.
I will, but it doesn't matter.
William,
I will answer your question.
Let's be honest. You know, and I know. If you were here, you'd be on my knee. William. Let's stop.
Are you kidding me?
William.
No.
William.
Have you looked in the mirror, dude?
William.
No, okay.
Right,
let's talk about the topic.
William, do you want me to make your picture my background?
Let's discuss
do you want me to make do you want me to take your I have your picture here, right? Because you posted in the chat.
Yeah, go ahead. Put it on screen.
I don't think you want me to make that my background. I really don't. Here, type in the chat. Type in the chat so I don't have to scroll up and I'll post it.
No, just do it.
No.
Yeah,
post
no
it.
balls.
So make
Go
it
on.
easy for me.
I don't
have
care.
to scroll up. I'm lazy. I don't want to scroll up. I clicked it when I saw you type and I was laughing.
No, because I have to literally go onto your stream and type it in.
Oh wow, that's so difficult.
Yeah,
to do.
let's discuss this.
What's your
the
username? What's your username
failing
again?
to
What's
pay
your
about
username?
1.4 million in taxes.
I just want to bring you
related
up 'cause you're
to
talking shit.
several years while spending heavily on his lifestyle. Now we can also look.
You look very.
You're
similar
also
to
supporting a pedophile.
Hold on, let's bring this
right?
up real quick. Hold on.
You're
everybody.
supporting a pedophile. There's videos
I'm not supporting,
of Hunter Biden.
I'm not supporting a pedophile.
Yeah, you are.
You are.
Yeah, you're saying that every MAGA person
Trump.
is. No, you're doing that.
You support Trump. I thought. Trump
okay, you can just keep talking over me, man.
Yeah,
but
that's what I plan
I'm
on
trying to discuss your
That's what I
prompt
plan
because
on
I'm not stupid like you.
That's what I plan on doing.
Okay.
I'm not stupid. Dude. I'm not stupid.
Yeah, you are very stupid. Yes, absolutely.
Well, you've lost.
You won't discuss your own
all
prompt.
credibility when you call me stupid. You've lost.
Oh, I've lost all credibility. No, you've lost all credibility. Let's take a look at your whole thing.
Listen.
Hold
on, I gotta bring this up because
you claim that every single thing about that. That's more than half the country.
William's making comments about people's looks. So I have to do this.
Yeah, you look disgusting. Okay, now
guys, if you're wondering,
let's discuss
guys,
this.
if you're wondering, guys, if you're wondering,
yeah, post me on stream,
guys.
Go ahead.
If you're wondering, if you're wondering, yeah, this is
go
the
ahead,
guy.
post it.
This is the guy.
Man, I'm not
commenting
afraid.
on my looks. This is the guy.
Yeah, let me take a look. Let me see if you even posted.
I just did.
You're not very like.
I just did. William.
Okay.
William.
Okay,
William.
good.
William. Look in the mirror.
No.
Please tell me you're not talking about people's looks, William. Please tell me you're not talking about people's looks, bro. Oh my God. Oh God, the arrogance. The absolute arrogance of some of these people, man. Like the audacity. The audacity. Oh my God. Man, you just don't do that, William. Just stay away from that. That's just not something you should be doing, William. You should stick to like trying to have conversations. You're bad at that too, though. That's why you keep spamming my phone. Dude puts nice guy on Tinder. Yeah, it's giving likes long walks on the beach. It's giving will love you like no one has before. It's giving like have you ever had a man who was willing to brush your hair? Oh my God, I'm creeping myself out now. It's giving in his Tinder bio. Have you ever had a man that's willing to brush your hair? No, and I don't want one. No, and I don't want one. Let's see if we can move
Call
on.
from
Billy Bob.
Billy Bob. Are you a Trump supporter, Billy?
Yes, sir, I am.
All right, Billy. Why are you 10 toes down a Trump supporter, Willie?
I just believe that, we just got to attack Venezuela and take their oil. That's what America's started on.
We got to attack Venezuela? Okay, so let's talk
just like
about
we
this.
attacked Mexico. It worked out well for us,
So
and now we're kicking them out of
let's
their
talk
own
about
land.
this. Is it against international law? Let's start with the vessels he's bombing. Is it against international law to drop bombs or launch missiles at these vessels? I'm sure you heard the
Not
recent
if you're
news
the
about the
U.S.,
two-tap
if
strike.
you're America, what other country's going to tell us we can't do something?
It's against international law, humanitarian law. There's something called right to life. You can't just kill people. Doesn't matter where you are. You can't just kill people. You understand? And secondly...
Yeah, but Trump does it all the time.
And secondly, Trump does it all the time? What?
I mean, ain't nobody stopping him.
What does Trump do all the time? Tell us.
I mean, he told he was going to annex Canada. He threatened to invade many countries.
Billy. It is Saturday night. Where do you live? Are you in the East Coast, West Coast? Where are you?
Midwest. East Coast.
East Coast. So it is 9:37 on a Saturday night. And you didn't know what to do. And so you said, I'm going to call in to this political talk show, and I'm going to pretend to be Billy Bob. That's what you did. Where are your pajamas? Where are your pajamas?
I'm not sure how to answer
I
that.
want you to go find them, put them on, and go to bed. And start over tomorrow. And don't ever do this again.
All right.
Sometimes you need to just reprimand people. You know what I mean? You just have to. Sometimes you just need a little, authority in your tone. It's a wake up call for some people. You just got to give a wake up call. Jeez, man. I don't know, guys. This is so like. So people always ask me, like, will you stream on the weekends? I like streaming during the weekdays so much more. You get so many more weirdos at night. William, I have you know that I'll totally date Adam right now. Yeah, I don't know. William definitely. Listen, William would be, I don't know, a lot. Like, listen, I'm not going to say anything, but, like, I don't think William is fighting off many offers. If I'm being completely honest, it's giving like I sometimes when I like see dudes do that, like I feel bad for women who are dating and like they come across people on these websites where like men are like, yeah, you'll never have a guy who loved me as much as you. Like, what? Dude, why is that in your bio? I'll brush your hair and bring you to TGI Fridays. What? Dude, this is why they think we're all fucking creepy. No, it's romantic. It's fucking romantic. I'm going to brush your hair and then we're going to go get Chili's. Like, it's like the older I get is the more I'm realizing why women are like afraid of us. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it's, more every day that I get older, like I realize why women are like, ew. You know what I mean? What's your favorite scary movie? Dude, this is our first phone call. Why are you, like, imitating Scream? What the fuck? Who the fuck do you think you are? Yeah, what's your favorite scary movie? No, be Curtis Sliwa. Listen here, Zoran. Listen here. No, Curtis Sliwa, keep your mouth shut. No one voted for you. Listen here, Scream. Curtis Sliwa knows better than anybody how to run this city. No, he doesn't. We voted for Zoran. Zoran Mamdani. Yeah, being attracted to men is hard. I can imagine. I really can. I mean that. And I mean that and I understand that. I probably wouldn't have understood it previously. Please change your mic to mono. Quit speaking one in ear at a time. I don't even know how to do that. I'm sorry. I don't know why it's doing that. I'm pretty sure you can change that setting on your headphones, though. Imagine I paid for dinner, now you owe me in that voice. Holy fuck. That's disgusting, Tiger Lily. That is so, like, I can't even imagine, dude. I really can't. I can't even imagine. But that's the world we live in, you know. It's the freaking world we live in. One-sided, just like you. I'm not one-sided at all, bro. What do you mean? I feel like I'm pretty fair in these conversations. Once you say something dumb, right, then of course we're going to reach, you know, I'm going to check you on that information. But I always let people say what they want to say. I just don't let you ramble. Listen, I'm going to let you in on a little secret, right? Nobody is interested in you rambling. Like when we're having a conversation, right, and you give your take and I give my take, nobody's interested in rambling. No one wants to hear you monologue. And largely, every Trump supporter I speak to repeats themselves 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times in a conversation. Adam, that short is on YouTube. The guy crashing out playing because the girl wouldn't go home with him. I don't know which one that is. The worst video I ever saw was the guy that was crying in his car and he sent it to his girlfriend and he's like, no, no. I uploaded on TikTok a while ago. One-sided, says the side calling for civil war. Exactly. Yep. All right, everybody. I'm going to pop off here. We've been on here for over 2 hours now. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. Make sure you have subscribed. It is free to subscribe. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you do all those things. I would appreciate it. We're trying to build a platform over here. We're trying to get up to 20,000 followers. We're at about 12 point something now. I don't know what the exact amount is, but we're growing every single day. Because I don't just want to do TikTok anymore. I obviously want to build these other platforms. And guys, if you want to go to my other place where I upload a lot of good content, Instagram, adam.cray. I'll put it down here. Let me delete this. I'm going to put my Insta up here for you guys. If you guys have not followed me on Insta, you really need to do that because I post good content on Insta. I'm worth a follow. But here is so it's my name like it is on here, but there's a period that separates my name. So right there. If you guys haven't followed me over there. All right. Have a wonderful night, everybody. Appreciate you. Take care of yourself. Yeah. And Dino, I just wrote an article on Substack last weekend. I just wrote an article on Substack last weekend, and I should have another article out by sometime tomorrow. I don't know which day, but I don't know which time, but sometime tomorrow. Adam, drink water with lemon juice. I know. I cannot keep my voice. I lose my voice so much. I had a Trump supporter today like, you smoke cigarettes all day. I don't smoke cigarettes, you clown. But it's just because I talk so much, you know. All right, everybody. Take care. Have a wonderful night. Love you guys. Appreciate your support. All right. And I will see you guys tomorrow morning on TikTok. Guys, do me a favor. Go make sure you're following me on Instagram. Go make sure you're following me over on TikTok. All right. Love you guys. Have a wonderful night. Take care.